Hey guys, KCTCG here, and with Sebastian. Almost forgot that.
What's up, guys? What's up, everybody?
Sorry about the delay in the posting. I'll be honest, coming up with what to talk about for luck was a difficult challenge. We finally did it, guys. Uh,
Yeah,
it was 2 weeks though, but hey, we'll try to make it up.
yeah, we can do that. That's fine. Yeah,
So
luck is a hard topic to specifically go into.
yeah, so here we're just gonna start off with what is luck when it comes to a TCG. So luck in a trading card game is the you would say ability to or being able to hit the right card or get the right card right when you need it. Now, this could be a misconception though because some people can plan this out. They can calculate, oh hey, I haven't seen so and so card or I haven't seen this card in a while, so my chances of getting it if I do these following plays are to see it is increased. And that's the thing that people need to understand, which is luck can be misconstrued as calculated risk or just straight calculated plays.
Yep.
Now, I know that many of you out there right now, when you hear the term luck, will say that the game you play is 100% luck. Like I don't, it doesn't matter if I'm good at it or not. I can just get luck sacked. B, uh, luck is just a factor that I'm not gonna deal with. I'm just gonna keep saying, or I'm gonna blame my losses to luck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a bad
and
one.
and C, luck is something that you can't control. Like some people are just inherently luckier than you are, and this may be true, but at the same time, I'm sorry, but there's nothing outside of the ability to shuffle, the ability to deck thin, the ability to just calculate your own cards. Nothing changes even if you apply luck because at the end of the day, most TCGs or almost all TCGs when you play them, they are uh, under your control.
Yeah, there's always going to be a certain amount of luck to the game. I mean, especially like when,
Yes.
any of these card games we play, the luck of the draw is always the first thing. If you get lucky on your draw, I mean, hey, more power to you. But if you don't get lucky, I mean, it's just part of the game. You got to know if you get lucky and you have all your pieces, then you can go off. If you don't get lucky and you don't have your pieces, then you got to think, okay, how can I get this game back into my corner, and not just immediately give up because oh, like my draw was terrible or my luck on these, you know, next sequences of plays are just bad because nothing is in my favor.
And even then, like saying that you're lucky, who knows? Maybe you just shuffled really poorly. Maybe from your last game or your previous iteration of looking through your deck, your cards were stacked, so you didn't your shuffle didn't break them up. Like there's so many
True.
things that could be said that hey, luck is only a factor that can be controlled. And
Yeah.
a lot of players that are out there right now, they don't want to admit it because they assume that hey, I've been shuffling or I've been playing this game for let's say years, right? This novice or someone that shouldn't beat me just beat me because they were lucky. Well,
Mm.
did they really beat you or did you let yourself be beat? Like, was there a chance that you could have stopped this play or did you just, was everything just stacked against you so that you couldn't do it?
Yeah.
Like, there's
I
so
mean,
many
of
things that
course.
people need to understand about this, and it's I'm sorry. It's just you need to understand that hey, be good, be better.
Yeah. It's like be better, but also like if you do realize that like okay, my opponent is getting very lucky, now you have to sit there and like just get on top of it and be like, "Hey, okay, I need to play way better now. I need to focus on my next 3, 4 lines of play. I need to make sure that everything I do is correct because if my opponent continues to get as lucky as they are getting, as again, it's part of the game, you need to just adapt to it. Because even though it might seem like, oh, like, yeah, but they sacked me out or they drew the one card that wasn't out to this and that. Like, all right, but you have to already have that in mind to think
Yeah.
like, all right, what if they draw that one card? what if they get that extra attack? What if they get the, the lucky trigger in Vanguard, There's a lot of those things that can be mitigated. Obviously not 100% because it's part of luck. But if you prepare for most of those situations, you should be able to cover everything.
I mean,
And you're not
even
gonna
even saying luck sometimes kind of is like the wrong term
mm,
because it's just a series of fortunate events. That sounds a lot better, honestly, because
mm,
like realistically speaking, right? Like this game, people that have watched this channel, they've seen me open, perfect hands. They've also seen me play unperfect hands, and you have
right.
plays out. I'm pretty sure you too, Sebs, like whenever you played Vanguard, any card game, honestly, you've never had a time where you sat there going, well, uh, no matter what I do, I'm going to lose because he's luckier than I am. Like somewhere along your game path, there's a moment in time that you've been like, oh, this is my out, or maybe if I did this, wouldn't have done it. And instead of contributing a loss or victory to luck, contributed to what you did to make the game state the way it is.
Yeah, because like even though like yeah, I've played against, tons of players like my one of my best friends Austin, right? He
Hmm.
is incredibly lucky and he'll be the first to admit it. He gets a lot of critical triggers, he gets a lot of heal triggers when he needs them, in Vanguard specifically. And it's like it's kind of always feels like you're facing an uphill battle because you never know that, oh, I'm at two. Like his Vanguard is swinging with a crit. I'll be fine. Like, nah, I'm never fine in that situation because I know already that his luck is that good.
Yeah, like
And
some
it's one
people
of
are
those
just
things.
blessed, and you just have
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes like realistically speaking, right? We're trying to steer you away from saying, "Hey, he's blessed. We can't do anything about it." But
Mm-hmm.
some people, they are just blessed. They do just draw what they have, and it's some people call it the golden hand, the golden finger. Like you're able to just get what you want, and it happens.
Yeah.
And some of these people, yes, it happens. The probability chances are stacked against you or stacked against them, and they still pull it out. And
Right.
you look at it going, well, that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Like some people, whenever you contribute luck, let's go down to a basic, a question then, because you want to say this game is our game is luck, right? So take any game you want. Of course, being a Vanguard Digimon, uh, mainly those games channel.
Right.
I can't even say the word right now. Holy crap! Predominantly,
Predominantly, yes.
yes. Yeah, predominantly Vanguard Digimon channel. You can ask, hey, if a game is part luck, right? Like this is part of the factor. It's RNG at this point. What percent is luck at this point? Because when you ask that question and you come up with a percentage, right? I know some people are gonna BS and say 50%. Some people are gonna BS and say higher than 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, say whatever number you want. And now let me ask you this. Take your best deck. I don't care what game, I don't care what you're doing, just take the best deck you own. And then give a deck of the same power level. It could be the same deck, it could be the same, it could be a different deck, I don't care. But just same power level, right? So it's not like a A tier deck versus a C tier deck. But
Right.
just the same deck. But give it to a complete novice that has zero idea what they're doing. You're telling me if that situation were to occur, you using your most powerful deck plays against this novice with the deck of equal power, right? You would lose that percentage of games against that
Right.
person. Because if, let's say 50%, right? In 10 games, you're going to lose 5 games against that person. In 50, you're going to lose 25. Like, it's ridiculous. A lot of players that are going to be so proud of themselves saying, no, luck is a factor I'm not going to be able to beat, but I'm a good player. So you're telling me if it's 50%, you're going to lose half your games against a complete novice Because
Right.
I will call you out right now for being just completely bad then at that point for losing
Yeah.
to a complete newbie.
Yeah, if it was 100% like that, that no matter what happens, 50% of the time you would lose. Like that's not a
Correct.
thing in Vanguard, like,
It's
or even
not.
in like other card games. It's like you still have to have the knowledge and be able to apply that knowledge to your gameplay, your game state, and your overall game plan. And if
Yeah.
that's something that you're not really prepared for, yeah, you can sit there and say, "Oh, I lost because my opponent got lucky." Okay, maybe the 1 out of 10 times I'll give it to you because it's like he really did get lucky. But other than that, I mean, you should really win all the time if you're up to that caliber of player.
And that's the thing, right? Like, once people, and once again, most people are going to be listening in the privacy of their own house, their headset. Hell, you could listen to this while you're driving because I'll be honest, whatever's playing in the background is either an image or B-roll games that if you really, really, really want to watch B-roll, sure. But realistically speaking, right? Like
Swagging.
people that are listening to this right now, if you want to just admit to yourselves, I don't even care if you openly admit it to your best friend or someone that is part of your play group that hey, maybe I'm not a good player, I just need to get better. Admit it though, like if you want to say that luck is higher, and I'm gonna be realistic here, guys. My number that I'm gonna say is like 5% because that's the number of games I've lost to RNG.
Mm.
So if it's 5% to me, and I don't know about you subs, like 5% to me is the number for luck. What is you? What are you?
Mm, probably around the same because it's very rare that like my opponent gets lucky. Speaking in like actual lucky, not like
Just complete
they
RNG.
create.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, not opposed to them like deck thinning and creating a scenario that lets them get luckier.
Hmm.
Somebody just lucking like luck sacking me. Like I had this happen at locals like 2 weeks ago, where basically everybody I played against that day all hit an over trigger against me, and
Happens.
the chances of that happening are, I mean, pretty low. It's a one of it happens,
And think
but
about your
because it
Vanguard
happened,
career too. Like it's
oh yeah,
this
yeah,
this
that
sounds like the first time this has happened to you.
oh this I was literally so upset I left. I was like, wow, I've never ever to this day gotten out of locals that quick and like just placed very low to the point where I've gotten that upset. And it
But
was one of those things where it was like I couldn't necessarily control that. And in my head, when I replayed the matches in my head, like could I have done something about it in that
probably
scenario?
not.
Probably, probably not. But more than likely, even if I would have tried to do something, still would have cost me the game.
And here's the thing,
So
right? Like you've been
yeah,
playing. We're using Vanguard, of course. You've been playing
right,
Vanguard for 5, 6 plus years,
right,
and I've knowing you for that long as well because I've met you when you started playing, like back in G.
yeah,
We haven't had a situation where you got bodied that hard due to RNG.
no, never,
Like I've seen you. Yes, I've seen you sometimes. Oh, I'm O and X because they just play better than me.
right,
But saying that versus I'm O and X because they hit 3 crits or double heal, like the the possibilities of saying, oh, they were luckier than I am, were
yeah,
so low that yeah, 5%, maybe less, maybe a little bit more, sounds like a good number because that's probably the amount of games in our career that we've lost.
yeah,
And of course, I'm not saying that we're gonna win every single game we're playing because we are going to lose. I mean, I've lost, and due to just either being someone being lucky, someone just uh, being a better player, or me not seeing my pieces. I mean, I guess you could say unlucky.
right,
But realistically speaking, right, like that's what I want to say is that 5% for me is the amount of times I lose due to luck, and I can proudly say in because what 5% of 50 is what 2.5 games. So pulling
yeah,
a round number out, let's just say 100 games, right? 100 games against a complete novice. I'm proud to say I'm probably gonna lose 5 of them.
Right, right.
because they'll get lucky eventually, and
Yeah,
I'll run out of options and I'll just die.
yeah,
And my opponent will be like, cool. But I can tell you right now, like, especially currently in the era that we're in, I mean, I know this is not gonna age well if, we reset or something, knock on wood, guys. But,
yeah, for real.
like, so far in D, me losing to a complete equally skilled player has been so low because people just want to blame everything on luck. They want to blame it all on, oh, you're so good at being lucky. You always get what you need. How do I do that? We can't do that because it's Ken. I'm like, no, you can do it. You just need to shuffle properly. That's what I'm doing every game. I'm shuffling properly,
Yeah,
making sure everything's broken up,
yeah,
and I'm allowing my deck to, randomize itself every round. I'm not gonna try to, just shuffle half-ass once or twice and be like, okay, my deck's done. Like, no, that's not how you do it.
right. And
Uh,
then, like, to be fair, like, it's one of those things where, I mean, hey, if you just happen to see a card pretty often, I mean, it happens. That's part of the game, you know? I remember back in G when we were playing, what, four grade threes at one point? And it's like,
oh
oh, I saw
God.
one every game. Like, I literally would play, like, even in V, I was only playing decks that had, like, four grade threes, and I would still see them.
Yeah,
And it's
like
like,
I've
oh,
had
okay,
that
cool.
issue, and then at the same time, right? Like you've played four grade three decks, and when you don't see them,
Oh, yeah, I feel bad.
people's first reaction was increase your count. They didn't say, "Damn, you're unlucky. Damn, you're
Mm,
lucky." The
yep.
only thing they said was increase your count.
No, yeah, that's true. Yeah. You should have played more. It's like, yeah, but when I didn't play more and I saw the one I needed, it didn't matter.
And then
It's like,
back then,
yeah,
right,
not
we
really.
had a lot of search power. Like
Yep.
a lot of our cards were on play. Pretty much look for your grade three, and
Hmm.
it's just it was kind of nice.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, right now
And
we don't really have
like
too much
now
of the
we have
luxury
a
of that.
ride deck, and the ride deck has fixed a lot of people's inability to properly shuffle, their inability to properly build a deck, and
That too.
all of these factors, right, were considered lucky back then.
Yeah.
Like, and think about this, right? I didn't say knowing how to build a deck. I said you don't know how to build a deck, which is why you weren't able to get what you want. Because
Yeah.
some people thought that, oh, just slap in four of everything. That's 32 cards. Let me just slap in a one of that I could care less if I see it. And my deck is good, right? No, it's not.
Yeah. That's not, yeah, that's not how deck building works, especially in something like D where it's like it feels very combo heavy because you can just fix your hand to what you need it to be. But again, you fixing your hand to what you need it to be, I mean, yeah, you'll get lucky with the cards that you draw, or you might not get lucky, and then your opponent will just get lucky and just do certain things back to you, like hitting triggers and stuff, you know? But again, we're looking at it from the perspective of you shouldn't have to rely for that to be your win con. Like you're not always going to get lucky. Your opponent's not always going to get lucky. You both might have a bad luck game, or you both draw five triggers and play the game like that because neither one of you are good at the game apparently, right? But
So we're
it's
gonna have a third person join us right now. This is Danny. You guys have heard him before.
You guys have? What?
I mean, pretty
what's
sure
going
on
on,
the
Danny?
other channel, on the other videos.
Yeah, you guys have probably heard me commentate on the local Heroes Orga. And
So
probably also see me
misplay.
misplay on the
Oh, come on,
But
Danny. We can't be
let
doing
me ask
misplays
you
out
this though,
here.
Danny. So
yes.
you clearly weren't part of this. I invited you last minute. But let me just take it like the last I want to say 5-10 minutes. What is your take on luck? I want to compare what you said to what me and Seth has just said.
What do you mean about luck? Like,
So
how do I feel about it?
what is your take on luck in the game? Is it avoidable? Is it unavoidable? Like, are there factors? Like, what is your take on everything like that?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of like it is what it is. Like, if it happens, it happens, right? Like, for example, like a hot topic right now is the over trigger, where like you could get lucky getting a defensive over trigger and turning off your opponent's turn or whatnot. But there are times when you could calculate it. You could see that, for example, like how you I'm trying to figure out like a way to word this. Like you can see, you have all the information like
Calculated then.
present.
You can
Yeah,
calculate,
you can
yeah.
calculate it. You can like
Right.
see that, oh, like I can probably, there's still a chance that this could happen, but
Mhm.
I don't really like care too much if it does or not, mainly because like I said, like if it happened, it happened. That's just the variance of the game, right? Like I could calculate as much as I want, but like if it doesn't happen, then sure. At least that's how I think about it usually.
So so for you, luck is more of a it's a factor that's to you it's unavoidable. It's calculatable, but it's unavoidable.
Yeah, you can calculate it to the best of your ability, but at the end of the day, like you don't have complete control over it.
Right.
Okay. So pretty much what you it does sound like I want to be honest, like the complete opposite of what me and Sez have been talking about. We were more of a it's calculatable, but a lot of it isn't just it happens. But yeah, like it's very good to have someone that has honestly the same idea as most of the players that will be listening to this. Now, my last question to both of you, and no, to Danny. Sebs has technically already answered this.
Mm.
If I'm gonna give you a number, right, Danny? Like you're gonna give me a number of what percentage is luck? Let's just say Vanguard for now. What percentage of luck is Vanguard?
I would probably say between 5 and 10%,
Oh,
maybe
okay.
even lower. I'll probably say lean towards like lower than 5%. Although, like that's how I think, but with the way it feels, just with like the nature of like flipping like triggers or whatnot, at least in Vanguard, it can feel like luck is about like 10% of the time.
I
So yeah,
mean,
I would.
that's still better than what most people are gonna say, which is something about 50 to higher.
Oh yeah. No, what? 50% luck? Like I should be winning. Like
No, a
Yeah.
lot of people, and you know this for a fact, when you hear a lot when people complain about the game, they are gonna say 50% or even higher, or
Right.
even just 30%, right? And even that's still a preposterous number.
Yeah, it's really high.
Yeah, I don't think like people like really like take into consideration like how high that is. They're using like different contexts for it, Like, oh, 30%, like I got 30% on like my test. That's really low. So 30% luck, like that's kind of like, that's like a safe thing. But you shouldn't really apply that sort of logic, at least to here.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, so there you have it, folks. Like even someone that just joined us had zero idea what we were saying, and he came to the same outcome that we just did, which is
Mm.
roughly about 5% is what we believe is luck or true RNG that we can control. The
Yeah.
rest of it, we are straight in control, and people just need to understand that. Hey, once again, I'm gonna be a little bit mean, but get your head out of your ass and start listening because if you believe this game is higher than 5% luck, 10% luck, you're probably just a bad player.
I mean,
Yeah.
like to that, right? Like if luck is like that high for some people, then by that logic, then more people should be lucky to
Yeah.
like top. But at least from what I've been seeing, at least in like the competitive aspect of Vanguard, and not even just Vanguard, just like other games in general, like Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic, it's typically like the same people. Now, sure, they could like miss a top here and there, but for the most part, they're pretty consistent about
Yep.
it.
Yep.
All right,
Top
so
top players will know what to do in those situations, and again, like how we all talked about in earlier, it's like the luck will be a factor, but if you're better, then
I've
the
seen
luck really
people just
shouldn't.
roll over and take damage and they just healed out.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the luck shouldn't be that big of a thing or that big of an excuse, right? Because
Correct.
we know that there's a lot of players that, oh well, my opponent got lucky. Oh, this and that. They got lucky with this. They got lucky with that. Like, mm, maybe they didn't. Maybe you just didn't calculate it right. Maybe you
Correct.
just didn't think 2, 3 turns ahead. Maybe you weren't 100% certain about these next couple turns. So
Like it's also, could factor in like people's like risk. A lot of people complain about like, oh, like I was at 3 damage, I no guard and they double crit me, and they're like, oh, they got so lucky. But that was still a risk that like you could
mhm.
have tried to calculate, and like whether or not you
You
wanted to
could
guard.
have
And
influenced the outcome by, dropping cards and make your opponent maybe not put all their eggs in one basket.
Yep.
But hey, that's the nature of the game, and honestly, that's what I feel is the biggest thing. Not luck, but just your own personal decisions.
Yep.
So that is gonna be it for today. However, guys, next week, stay tuned. It is gonna be a topic that will shock you guys, but we are actually gonna be talking about how to lose, or specifically how to take a loss.
oh boy, I'm really used to that.
Alright,
Good
guys.
topic. Good topic
So
right there.
KCTCG, this is Ken, Sebs, and Danny signing off, guys.
See you later, guys.
Later.